Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, Dr. McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, gentlemen, for being here today. Good to see you all here well and healthy. First of all, this is as near and dear to me as anything we've ever discussed in these hearings. My first deployment in 1994 on the 15th Marine Expeditionary Unit was on the USS Tripoli, affectionately named USS Crippley. Been hit by a mine that cost probably about $1,000, which caused about $3.5 million of damage. Gave it a permanent list. It went dead in the water 3 times on float in temperatures that were well over 100 degrees with probably humidity about 90% because we could see about 2 miles just because of how dense the humidity was. That was our living conditions, where we had our gym, which was about the size of about 20 by 20 feet, right between where we stored the garbage, the morgue, and started the FAVs, right out the tail section where they also did the smoking on the FB, so you can imagine the conditions. We've improved since then. But what's interesting about that is we do our new ship mods, much to your point, Mr. Secretary. We improved these ships, but we haven't really improved our projection of power. Matter of fact, we're very short on that because we don't have the ships. This was a ship that was created in 1966. And by the way, all 3 of the ships that I was on in the amphibious fleets that I was deployed on Marine Expedition have all been scuttled or scrapped now, so that makes me feel very old. But when we look forward and we see the shortcoming, when I came in, we were projecting a 600-ship Navy with the Reagan era. Now we're just trying to literally have enough to deploy to where we're supposed to go. My question is, why not, Mr. Secretary, take a ship, an old LHA, and remod it and actually have a ship ready to go until we have a replacement with a smaller investment of time and money until we're ready for the next step and we have a ship actually ready. I know it costs money, but does it cost as money and time as it does with these new ship mods that are getting way over budget? As you said, 57% over on the best case scenario, with a delay of at least 6 months with the best case scenario. Why not hold on to some of those ships so we have projection of power? Because no matter how much we have of drones and all the new technologies and all the things we're doing to recreate our services, we don't have projection of power. You cannot replace that with a number. You cannot replace that with a drone. Why not do something in the short term to put that patch on there when we have a real significant challenge over in the Chinese seas and other areas where we need to project power right now?
So I'll let the Admiral give you specifics because we are doing this in some cases, particularly like on the Ohio-class subs and things like that. I think it's really a question of, 1, what does it take to get those ships back online? 2, the costs of doing that. 3, the timing. So our issue is we have a shortage of workers. It's just, so if I take someone off a Columbia-class sub and to remod a ship to get it out there, I'm just going to extend that. And so that's, I think, difficult. I don't think it's as simple, and I'll let the Admiral comment on it, as just taking it out of the yard and putting it back in. And I think a lot of these ships, unfortunately, sit in the yard too long. Our maintenance schedules are too long. There are a number of these things compounding themselves, but let me let the Admiral maybe address it.
I'll try to be brief. I think we should look at that. It's something that we should look at. Our history here hasn't been good. We had a program called the Cruiser Mod Program, and USS Tortuga came up yesterday in our hearing, and that's an LSD, which we're trying to bring back after the same program and having challenges doing that. So 1, the ship has got to be capable. 2, I've got to produce a ship that I'm confident can sail underneath the Secretary's leadership and do what our country needs it to do. So it would have to meet those conditions.
Not to get political, but I tell you, we have about 16 million Americans out there that could be ship workers if they get off their butts and actually go back to work. That's one of the problems we have. We're trying to motivate them to do exactly that. Mr. Commandant, the Marine Corps has led the way and the only service to actually pass their audits in the last several years. What's your secret, and how could other services do better to copy the Marine Corps model to actually lead the way and be successful in the future of the way we manage our services?
Well, sir, thanks for that question. We passed the last 2 audits, and we'll continue to pass them. Frankly, it's a culture. It starts at boot camp. It starts at your first unit. You're issued a shelter half, 5 tent pins, 3 tent poles, and a guide wire. And when you leave the unit, you turn in a shelter half, 5 tent pins, 3 tent poles, and a guide wire, or you get your butt down to Saigon Sam's and you buy that because you are responsible for it. And we have individual accountability. You're accountable for your cleaning gear for your M16. You're accountable for your shelter half. And it starts and ends there. It's just 100% accountability.
I'm out of time, but I think accountability is what government can learn from. God bless you. Semper Fi, gentlemen.